That's music by the Minguet Quartet, Mendelssohn String Quartet, number 6, Opus 80. The Minguet Quartet is in town, and they're in town to perform as part of the Virtuosi series. They're performing tonight, October 18th, 8 p.m. at the University of Winnipeg, Eckhart Grammaté Hall. And I have a couple of the members in the studio with me now. So I have in the studio with me, I've got Matthias Diener, the cellist, and I have Rebecca Henneman, who's going to be playing a violin. She's filling in for one of the violinists. So, good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Winnipeg. Welcome to Classic 107. Nice to have you here. Before we get into talking about the actual performance that you'll be participating in tonight, why don't you tell us a little bit about the quartet that's been around since 1988?
Yeah, God. Yeah. It's a long time already.
Taking you back a few years.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I will. Well, we started as students, as it normally is. Well, not in the same, for the same members like today, but the quartet was founded 88 with students, and they had suddenly and very fast quite a success, so that they decided to stay together, not just playing during the studies together, but stay together. And then the members changed. That it is, I mean, people are getting other ideas of doing their profession, and so. But since 17 years now, we are playing with these members, and it's wonderful. And we are touring and playing and recording and having fun with music and traveling, and that's it.
What was it about each other that you were drawn to? I mean, there's lots of performers, and I'm sure you went to school with lots of different musicians as well. What was it about the members of that quartet that you were initially brought you together?
Well, in my case, for example, it was I was studying in Switzerland, in Basel, and while the quartet was already existing, but being based in Düsseldorf, or better to say in Cologne. And I heard that they are looking, I'm a cellist, so I heard they are looking for a cello player, because the actual cello player was to be a principal cellist in Göteborg. And he wanted to have family, and he didn't want to travel so much anymore and stuff. And for me, it was the opposite. I was, at this time, I was principal cellist at an orchestra, and I wanted to leave the orchestra. And so I heard about this group, and they came on tour in Switzerland, and I went to the concert, and I heard them play, and I thought, oh, that's nice. Could be a possibility. And then I talked with them, and then I made an audition. They tested over 60 cellists, and then we decided to play together and to live together, kind of what it is, and to stay together. Yeah.
So you've been based out of Germany the whole time, or?
Yeah, now we're based in Cologne, actually, and and living there, and from there we are starting our tours, and we are playing a lot in Europe, and we are playing a lot in Germany. So Cologne is a good place to be, because it's kind of in the middle of Germany, and then surrounded by 3 international airports. So it's really good to be there.
How do you go about choosing the repertoire that you like to play? I mean, I'm sure you all have different tastes. How do you come together on that?
Well, we of course, at the beginning, I mean, the repertoire of a string quartet is so immensely rich. Mm-hmm. It's a treasure. I mean, every composer wrote a basic work of his own for string quartet. So we feel like kids having a huge Christmas present. I mean, it's amazing. You can look everywhere. There are amazing compositions for string quartet. Mm-hmm. So, of course, when we started, or when the quartet started, even before me, they studied kind of the normal, whatever it is, called normal repertoire for classical repertoire to win competitions and stuff. Of course, you have to do this. But after that, we found out that we are very, very interested in playing and working together with living composers. So that means contemporary music. Mm-hmm. So we are quite well known for first recordings, first performances. We did the first complete recording of all Rihm quartets. We are Echo Prize winner for the Ruzicka string quartets, and we are working and playing all the Widmann quartets, playing with Jörg Widmann together. He's a very good clarinetist as well. So we really love to be in contact with modern composers and doing modern stuff as well, but not forgetting, of course, the so-called normal classical repertoire.
Mm-hmm. I'm here in the studio chatting with 2 of the members of the Minguet Quartet. We've been listening to Matthias Diener, the cellist, Also have Rebecca Henneman in the studio, and she's filling in for Annette Reisinger, who, as you mentioned just the off-air, well, she just had a baby 10 days ago, so it's kind of hard to travel when you're having children immediately after. So we're going to play one little piece of music again from the Mendelssohn, and when we come back, we'll be chatting with Rebecca, who is the violinist of the Minguet Quartet. So here's another selection. Did you want to maybe talk about this one? I'm going to play you something from the first string quartet, number 2. I'll play you the Mendelssohn String Quartet. Yes, let's line up the first track from Mendelssohn String Quartet, number 2. Music by the Minguet Quartet. And I have a couple of the members in the studio with me. I have Matthias Diener, the cellist, and we also have Rebecca Henneman, who is filling in on the violin. So let's chat with Rebecca just for a minute. Rebecca, so how did it come about that you were joining this group for this trip?
I think in the summer I got a phone call from Matthias. I was during the holidays in Sweden, and it was a great nature. And then he called me. It was not so easy to contact me, but he could manage it. And then he asked me if it's possible that I can play as a second violin on this tour. And yeah, I tried to manage everything because I'm playing besides in an orchestra in Germany. And I have my own piano trio, but I could manage it, and it was fun for me to play with them. And yeah. Have
you known them for a long time? Have you known them?
Yes, yeah, I think nearly 10 years.
10 years.
Because I just finished my studies, my own studies this summer. And before I played for a long time with my own piano trio, and I got to know, especially Matthias. He was the first I got to know, and we had, I think, for several years we studied with him, the piano trio, and it was a very important time for the piano trio. It was the foundation time, and we wanted to learn everything about everything from his journeys, from his musical ideas, from his person, from his... Yeah, it was a very important time for us, and then we tried to follow the whole Minguet Quartet on the way, and we had the luck that they gave some master classes in Europe, and then we tried to come to the master classes, and we got to know the whole Minguet Quartet, and yeah.
Is this your first time in North America then? Yes, with them, obviously. But
I think 10 years ago I've been in America, but especially in California, with the youth orchestra, and it was a great time. But I did not have so much time to see everything. But yeah, so North America, yes.
So the repertoire that you're going to be playing this tonight, is it something you're familiar with, or you just quickly have to sort of learn, and also, not just the repertoire, but learning how to interact, I suppose, with the quartet. Was it difficult to do, or?
No, I do not think so, because
no, not for you, no problem.
No, it is not easy, because the quartet is a very special thing, and you hear everything, and it's kind of communication, and everybody has to say his own opinion, and then to react, and you have to play just in that moment, and everything can be changed. You can rehearse, but in that moment, you have to be very careful. But I think the pieces are well-known pieces, and
Yeah, so Rebecca is making it fantastic, I have to say. As she mentioned before, she was my best student during my, they studied with me, and then we know each other for a long time, and she did it before, actually. We had our second violinist got ill a couple of years ago, and she stepped in, and it was fantastic. And so it was no doubt that she was the first person to ask in this special situation now. Annette, our normal second violinist, she did it till she couldn't anymore. I mean, it was really lucky that she was in the 9th month pregnant, but then it was clear that after having the baby, she couldn't come to this tour. And so Rebecca was the first person to ask, and she's doing it great.
It's a great story, the fact that she was your student and you perform together now.
Absolutely.
And
it's great.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a great show. And thank you very much, Matthias and Rebecca, for coming in. And again, welcome to Winnipeg. Thanks for coming by the station. And it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you.
And we're going to hear one more movement from the Mendelssohn String Quartet No. 2. I think I'll cue up the third movement. So this is the Minguet Quartet, and they will be performing tonight. You can go to virtuosi.mb.ca if you haven't got your tickets, and get them fast. So again, here's music by the Minguet Quartet.